Hey everybody, welcome to the XD Daily Creative Challenge. I'm your host, Jesse Showalter, and this is day 6 of the XD Daily Creative Challenge. Really excited to be back. Yesterday I had some technical difficulties, but I think we've ironed it out. If you are new to the XD Daily Creative Challenge, let's talk about it a little bit. Let's introduce you. But first, let's head over to the chat and say hi to some people. Hi to Abdullah, hi to Julia, hi to Keita and Jack and Tim and Brandon are all in the house. Let me know where you're coming from. Let me know where you're chatting from. And while you're here, tell me your favorite type of exercise also. Tell me where you're from, favorite type of exercise, because this 2 weeks of the XD Daily Creative Challenge, we've been focusing on health and wellness and fitness and those kinds of things. So one of my favorite types of physical fitness or exercise, I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and I like to run a lot. And so that's kind of my thing. And I do a little yoga in my spare time. So we got people coming in here from Chicago, saying hi to Dave. And we got, again, Melville is in the chat. Raul's in Texas. Hey, everybody. Thanks for saying hi. Thanks for joining us on the XD Daily Creative Challenge. Really excited to be here today. So why don't we kick over and take a look at what we are doing. So first, let's jump over to the interwebs. And if you don't know what the XD Daily Creative Challenge is, you can go over to behance.net/challenge/XD. And here you can get all the information. Basically, it's 4 things. Number 1, we're going to receive a challenge each and every day. We got people from Venezuela. All right. Oh, and Julie says she likes Krav Maga, which is also a type of martial art. I like that a lot. That's cool. Each day you're going to receive these challenges, and you can see that they unlock each and every morning. Like I said, we're on day 6. So today we're going to be talking about plugins and building a friendly challenge type application where you can challenge your friends to physical fitness and different things. You're going to want to join us in the live chat, but also the community chat, which we have over in Discord. Our XD Discord for Adobe XD has over 30,000 creatives in it, which is amazing. And really quickly, while you're here, because the next thing we're going to do is talk about posting work in a second, I want to just share Screen Name Baby inside of our Discord, who had this amazing animation from our yoga meditation activity tracker that we did. Look at that animation. That's amazing. So you can post stuff in here inside of the Discord, and you can get feedback, and you can get encouragement, and you can get critique, all of it in a friendly, awesome environment that you can only do inside of the XD Discord. Lastly, you're going to, second to lastly, you're going to follow along with this challenge. And after we're done today, you're going to post your work up to Behance. Make sure you use the hashtag XD Daily Challenge, because when you do that, people can search for XD Daily Challenge and look at these beautiful creations that we can see from the previous days. Hopefully your stuff will be featured up here as well. All right. So really excited. We should just get going, because yesterday I didn't get much done because of my technical difficulties. So let's make up for that. Like I said, we're on day 6. Make sure you download that starting file if you want to follow along or work from it. Today's challenge is about creating the application idea is creating a challenge application so friends can challenge each other inside the app and then try to compete with each other and just do that kind of thing. But we're going to be focusing a little bit on plugins today, but also, for the win, XD had an update today, and that is really exciting. So we're going to talk about some of those update items as well. We have a artboard over here with a few assets. These probably won't be on your artboard. I apologize, we can't give the assets, but there's a bunch of links over in that previous starting file where you can find icons and typography and things like that. Adobe Typekit, Adobe Stock is a good place to go if you're interested. All right, let's get going. Let's start designing some stuff. Well, we want to challenge some people. And so let's start building a little bit of an interface. I think let's just do something really basic to start. Let's do a rectangle right here. We're going to do a bottom navigation, but why don't we just spice it up a little bit? Let's just add 20 pixels of border radius to the top and the bottom. And why don't we put a little, not a background blur, but a shadow. I think that would be fun. We have some colors we've already picked out. We're going to work with a blue. I think blue is kind of a nice fitness color. You could also go green, but we're going blue today. You do you, and I'm gonna do what I do. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna just add a little bit of shadow, not that much shadow. Let's take off that border. Let's work on this shadow a little bit. Let's blur it out a little bit, And then let's come into our shadow and just bring that transparency down. Look at how nice that looks already. It looks modern. It looks clean. I'm liking it. I'm digging it. Okay. Let's see. How's everybody doing in the chat? We doing all right? Ariana says hi. Richard Otley's in the house. Ryan Chase. Oh, the font today. Not Poppins. Ha. I'm really a big fan of Poppins, but today we might be using something called Titling Gothic, which I was going to try to use yesterday for our yoga tracker, but I didn't get around to it because technology messed me up. All right. I already kind of pre-designed a navigation to save ourselves some time because we got bigger fish to fry today. So boom, we have a navigation right there. Let's head over to our layers panel. And if you're thinking of the hotkey for layers and then components, it's Command or Control Shift Y or just Command or Control Y. So you can kind of kick back and forth between components and your layers panel. So now we're on our layers panel. We're going to grab these elements, all of our elements there. Let's just drag our background bar in there. And now we have our navigation. Let's lock that. Let's lock the whole thing though instead. There we go. So we have a navigation that's looking pretty cool and we're on an active state. Why don't we keep cruising on and see what else we can do here? Well, I think next we should probably put this guy in here. This is a challenge, just like a big header kind of thing. And we have a color. And if we're thinking about more colors to use, let's dive in and talk about plugins just for a second before we get too far, because I got a great plugin for you. If you don't know about plugins, XD has a lot of good ones. You can head down to the left-hand panel and you can see all your active plugins or the ones you have installed. You can also head up to the plugins menu and go to manage plugins. Here we can discover plugins, we can browse plugins, we can search for them by name, filter popular, top rated, and we can manage the ones that we currently have installed. But I want to show you a really cool plugin that we have going already installed. And so this one is called Color Scale. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. This one's called Color Scale, as you can see right there. And what Color Scale is going to do is, I know, surprise, it's going to give us a color scale. I'm going to select an object with a color. I'm going to hit Color Scale, and I'm going to dictate how many steps in this scale, and I want to lead it out to white because it's a pretty light interface. So how about 10 steps from the current color all the way to white? What does that look like? We create it, and we should have gotten well, maybe we did not. I don't know. Oh, there it is up top. Look at how beautiful our little color scale is. So now if we're looking for shades or hues of our current color or accent color, I know it's like, what? How did that happen? It was so easy. You didn't have to do all that hard work. That's what I like. Work smarter, not harder. Okay, here we go. So now we have a color scale we can kind of work off. And that was our very first plugin of the day. Okay, so let's keep cruising. Let's take our text here and let's say people could filter out different things. So here we could put like swimming. We're gonna have Adobe XD's autocorrect just save my life constantly because you guys know I'm bad at the spelling and the grammar. Okay, so let's do this one. We'll call this one cycling. And let's do another one out here. You won't be able to see it, but you'll be able to tell. Let's do, I don't know, marathon or something. You'll be able to tell that you could like swipe over there. That would be really, really nice. So how about we do all here and actually grab all these and just bring them over a little bit. Yeah, we could space them out and spend some time doing that a little bit more perfectly, but we ain't got time for that right now. Why don't we take this one and say that we're on swimming as an active state. And we'll group those all together, pressing Command or Control G. Everybody sticking with me? How you guys doing? You liking Tuesday? Tuesday is Taco Tuesday, so make sure you get you a taco today after you've done something healthy. That way it cancels it out, and that taco is legit. It's all good. Okay. Let's use another one of our plugins. We don't really need this little square here anymore, I don't think, do we? Nah, we don't. So let's use one of our plugins. I'm thinking we're going to hit E for ellipse, and let's create like a little featured, like let's say we tapped on swimming, and this is going to give us a person here, or maybe a couple people. Let's just start with one, and let's see how that goes, okay? So we're going to go here, and we're going to go to another plugin I like called UI Faces. UI Faces, you can go to the website and grab stuff there, but guess what it does? It gets you some faces into your UI. So I'm going to dictate different things. Where do I want it to come from? Guy or gal, happiness neutral, all that kind of stuff. Or we can just say apply and see what UI Faces gives us. It's working. Boom, it gave us a face. We like that. That's perfect. That's our person, okay? So we clicked swimming, and here is our champion. She's going to be first place. Let's put in this text right here. Boom. Why don't we put in a nice big name too? Like what kind of name should we give it? Well, I wish there was a plugin for that. Oh, wait. There is a plugin for that. We're about to use that plugin. Let's get out of this plugin. I love plugins. You tell how excited I get. It's really, really fun. Okay. All right. I know somebody said XD needs a Grammarly plugin for spell check for Jesse. Thank you. You love me. And I appreciate that. You're loving on me by saying that. You're not making fun of me. You're loving me. And I can tell. All right. So here's what we want to do. We're going to go right in here and click our title. We want to make a name. Let's go to content generator. What do you say? What do you say we let the robots generate the content for us instead of using our noggins to do that, okay? So why don't we pick a name, a female's name? Let's press it right there. Victoria McDonald. Bam. I like that. That sounds pretty convincing. She looks like a Victoria McDonald, in my opinion. Okay, so let's put that right there. And why don't we just center align these and line everything up? I'm liking that. She is our first place. Now, why don't we grab these together and why don't we just do something off to the side, which would be like, you know, you have like the second and the third place, or like maybe just other people who are doing well in this category of swimming as well. So let's grab both of those images. Let's go back to UI faces. Let's apply some faces right back in there. Do we see plugins just crushing the game for you and me? You see it, don't you? You like it. Okay, here we go. Let's take the opacity to those down. So we want to focus on Victoria here, and we'll take this whole area. Actually, I feel like it needs to stand out a little bit. Do you feel like it needs to stand out a little bit more? Because it's just, we have a white background. I like that. But why don't we do something similar? Let's unlock our navigation down here. Why don't we do something similar as we did down there? Why don't we take this little fella and spin it around? Oh, maybe, yeah, we'll just stick there. And why don't we go 0 on, yeah, do 0 on there. We'll just bring that up to the top. I'm going to press Command or Control bracket left just to bring it to the back. And we're going to want to change our shadow from -7 to a 7. It's all coming together. It's all looking pretty smooth. So let's take that whole thing, we'll group it together, and in our layers panel by pressing Command or Control Y, we'll just put card up at the top. There we have it. Now, let's talk a little bit about the update, shall we? Content awareness or content aware fill, something called like that. I'd have to look it up. Boy, I'm really, really bad at remembering names and things. But what does it do? Well, let's talk about it. Let's make the next piece in our interface, and then we will, Anna says, what happened? What happened was magic. What's the name of the content generator plugin? Says Dave. It's called Content Generator. So you can go right there, and let's just zoom in so you can see it. Content Generator is its name, and filling content is its game. All right, so I know I just came up with that little rhyme off the top of my head. I didn't invent it, but I did remember it. So give me some cred. All right, we are going to get rid of this border. Let's put a fill in this thing, and let's just make a rounded button. Let's take, why don't we just steal some text from here? I think we should just steal text. Why make new text when you could just steal current text? We're going to put that right in there, and let's make it white, and let's say something like challenge Victoria. Okay, let's make sure this is center aligned text. Bring the whole button together. It's center aligned. Let's grab it and the button shape, and we're going to press Command or Control K to make a component. Now we can see we have our component here. Let's title it button. Now we could drag out more of these if we wanted to, but the new hotness inside of XD is once we've created a component, here's the problem. Maybe later, right, we have another challenge, like we click a different category and some other person is the winner, and their name is just Madonna. Well, Madonna's name doesn't fit in the button very good. We've lost our spacing. We want to keep things contextual to the size of the name. How do we do that? Well, we're going to hit the master component here, head over to our inspector panel, and right where it says layout, we have a responsive resizing. Let's click padding, right? Oh, did we see what happened? I'm going to click it off again. I'm going to click it on again. What happened? What happened was that it gave us some padding. We can have it be the same all around, or we could dictate the top, right, bottom, and left edge of our element. And now when we type things, it's going to change the spacing. That's just one simple use case for this content aware fill that we have going on inside of XD, but it's a really, really good use case. It's going to save you so much time. And here's the biggest thing, what I love about it. Anything that brings consistency, it's a win in my book, right? This is going to allow you to have all of your buttons look the same, feel the same. I like that. Okay, let's keep cruising. So we want to challenge Victoria. That's pretty good. But you know what? I just really quickly, let's get in here to this button and let's add a little bit of that same shadow hotness that we had going on. And let's just drop it down the y-axis. And I'm really proud of myself there that I said the word axis and not access. That's usually how I say that. See how we have a little shadow kind of following us around here? We got a couple more minutes of design time. So let's do just a little more work here. Let's bring our button up. It doesn't need to be that low. We just get some nice spacing there. And let's steal Victoria here for a second and paste a new version of her. And why don't we we'll just shrink her down like so. Let's create some line items. Okay, how about we do that? We'll take this also, we'll paste that. We're gonna left align this text and left align it with our alignment tools. And now guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna bring up my content generator again, because that's one of my favorites, okay? Let's use content generator and just get another name. Good. Okay, great. Now I would do repeat grid on these, but then I won't be able to replace each of these individually using my plugins. So we're kind of trying to focus on some plugin action right now. So let's just do that. We're going to grab each of these UI faces, apply some faces, and bazingo, we got a bunch of faces in there. Now we're going to grab a bunch of these names. Let's head out of UI faces, back to content generator. Let's just get both guy and girl names. Boom, they popped them in there. We don't really care right now because we're just laying down some concept work. We're not trying to get all nitty gritty, right? Okay, so that looks pretty good now, but here's what I think we should have. I think this should come up a little bit more, and I think this should fall underneath, and we want our nav, just Command or Control Y to go back to my layers. I'm going to drag that up so it's on top, and let's lock it again so we can't mess with it. Now you see that you could scroll through this whole area. That'd be really, really nice. And I feel like we're missing something. What are we missing? We're missing a little button. We should just have a general place where you can start a challenge from, shouldn't we? We should. And let's take this and just get a little shadow going here. Our same shadow, bring it down, chill it out a little bit. And look at that. We got a little handy dandy plus icon ready and waiting for us. Oh, I like a chubby little plus. I like it. It's just it's so cute, isn't it? I like it. All right, a little chubby plus button. I feel like we have our interface, and I have some time to maybe use one more plugin that I really dig to spruce this design up. I'm gonna just really quickly create another artboard over here just for fun, okay? I'm gonna come in here and get my pen tool. Are you guys ready for this? I'm just gonna draw like some squiggles. Let's do some squiggles, okay? That's good, that's for one. Let's do another pen tool. Let's do a squiggle like that. That's a little janky, but that's okay. Let's do an ellipse. Let's do a rectangle. Let's do a triangle. Now let's introduce another one of the updates of today's updates. Ready? Let's draw a triangle. But remember how we used to have to use a plugin called polygons to create, you guessed it, polygons. Now we don't have to. You can drag the triangle tool, because the triangle tool is not just the triangle tool anymore. It's the polygon tool. Check this out. Let's make this thing really big so you can see all the action I'm about to do here. We can drag out a polygon or a triangle like this, head over to our inspector panel, change the amount of points on it right there in our inspector panel. Then we can change the softness of those points, but ready for the mind-blowingness? Then we can change the bend and the bow of the polygon. We can make our very own stars natively right there inside of XD. Booyakasha for the win. That's super duper fun. We don't want that right now, but it is super duper fun, isn't it? Okay, let's drag out a triangle and zoom in, because I'm about to blow your minds with one more plugin before we have to get going. Actually, we might do a star, or how about a diamond, like with a rounded sides like that. Okay, here's what we're gonna do really quickly. I'm gonna grab all these elements. I'm gonna take the border down, and what I'm gonna do is go into my plugins. I'm gonna use a good one. It's called Confetti. Now Confetti, this is a legacy plugin. It still works though. I'm gonna dictate how many columns, how many rows. Do I want to randomize opacity? Yeah, I do. Do I want to randomize rotation? Sure I do. Do I want to randomize the scale? Why not? And then I can refresh my little preview tool. I like it, and run it. Ooh, it just made me a bunch of confetti without me having to do it by myself. Let's group it together. Let's copy it. And let's come in here and let's just paste it. Bring it down to the back. That could look good. Let's bring our layers panel up. And why don't we just bring it in there? We want to make sure it's actually on our artboard. It's kind of not on our artboard right now. Let's bring it in so it's actually on our artboard. Bring it down, and now we just have a little bit of decoration, a little bit of panache in the background there, and you did it in seconds. That's super duper awesome. Absolutely loving it. Well, we got a few more minutes. Is there anything else we could work on this thing? You know what? Let's do really quickly, just for fun. Why don't, because I didn't get to do a lot of whole stuff with component states yesterday. We have our component here. Let's make it a little state out of this, okay? Let's do a new state. We'll call this the active state. Okay, we're going to come into our active state. We're going to change the background color. Let's go black, something like that. Okay, and then now we can put it right back to our default state. Now when we prototype this bad boy, okay, well, hold on. Now we didn't prototype it. Let's go to our prototype tab. Tap here on tap. We want to auto animate to active. We're going to go to active, do the same thing. We want to tap, boom, auto animate, and we want to go back to the default state. Now let's preview that thing. Boom. Now we have the ability to create states. Now we could do something a lot more fun if I had time. We could add a fun little check mark that animates in. We could change scale and size. We could move this thing. We could do so much with states. So I just figured we'd throw that in since my technical difficulties were so brutal yesterday. But what I want to do now is I want to take a look inside of the Discord and on Behance using that hashtag XD daily challenge. I want to look at some work because I'm really excited about all the stuff that you guys have been posting. So thanks again for sticking with me in the stream. We got Julia still here, Anna still here, Dave, Ariana, Alberto, Richard Otley. I feel like so many of these names are here all the time. That's what I love about Adobe Live. That's what I love about the Daily Creative Challenge. It's just community, right? I just feel like the community's rad. Okay. Let's check this one out. I think we looked at this one before, but I want to look at it again, that fitness tracker. This is kind of from one of our the first few days, and it got expanded into this tablet or desktop view. One thing that's really interesting, I think, is doing any sort of work like we're doing now, and then really going back to the design tab really quickly, and then making sure that we are doing everything with responsive resize, because we didn't touch anything. We just have responsive resize on automatically, but nothing's really working. But if we just make sure that we add responsive resize, we can do some manual stuff and change how things work. It's a little, well, I'm not doing it very good right now, but let's go, I forget. That's okay. But using, it's total try and fail, but using like auto resize and the responsive resize stuff and the layout tools allows you a little bit easier to create that quick workflow tip. I would do that stuff not during the conceptual stage, but I would do that a little bit more once I've gotten in. I'm starting to create components and build out a system. That's when I'd start building those things out and making sure I'm using all of that responsive resizing stuff. So this is a good one. Really like that one a lot. We saw this one a little bit. This one is by Alzini Bordet. And this is that recipe. She did something a little bit different. I like it. I love these little overhang icons right here, and I love really clear call to action with that color. Everything's really clear and white and bright and light, and then you have boom, this nice red color call to action. Really good and sweet flow right there. Let's look at one or two more. We got a couple minutes. This one was submitted by Taria Tolbert. Really nice work. I feel like I wish that this would have been my fitness tracking one, because I love the integration of the illustrations up here. The color just flows through the whole thing, right? Maybe we should work together, and this could be the light to my dark interface. We could just package it together, and that would be really cool. So guys, make sure you submit your work either here on Behance, because we do have some more really awesome work on Behance. Let's check some of these guys out. Ooh, I gotta look at this one. This is a link. It's gonna take us out. Got some sweet animation from our shoe e-commerce experience. Look at that. I bet you that's a component. That little liked heart little interaction, it's a little micro interaction. I bet you that's a component. So many components being used. Great animations happening. Really full blown. Wow, look at this. This is beautiful. Really nice work. And this is from Frankie Say. Man, Frankie, you are crushing the game. I want to be like you when I grow up. This is really good stuff. We got time for like maybe one more really quick one, and then we're going to have to get out of here. But let's see. Let's scroll way up. Ooh, I like this one. Got about 30 or 40 seconds left on the stream. Thank you guys for sticking around the entire time. I love the perspective presentation on these. Really nice. I like the color. I'd like to maybe just explore this one. Ooh, here we go. Got some micro interactions. Just a little bit of adjustment. Yeah. fun to play with that timing and that easing. Check that out, play some more with that timing, maybe a little snappier, but really love the colors, love the implementation. Well, everybody, we are getting close to the end of the stream, and so I just want to say thanks for sticking around. Again, make sure you post all your work up to Behance using the hashtag XD Daily Challenge. We have a few more days left of the XD Daily Challenge. And so make sure you check in tomorrow, download the files, and I'll be in the Discord after this, answering questions and giving you feedback on your work. Really, really excited to have you guys along for the whole journey. We'll see you tomorrow.